It's been a busy couple of days, and I have not been creating podcasts, videos, or other activities that often you see available everywhere. I just haven't been doing it. I've been so busy. It's Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. Have you ever wondered how all these gurus and people who are teaching you how to market farm, or how to repair your home, or how to do other things around the house, how is it that they get anything accomplished when you're recording video and editing that video and preparing materials and writing blog posts and all this and more? How is it that they get anything done? Well, let me share with you a secret that builds prosperity at your home and provides for your family an extra cash flow in some cases, besides the bragging value and the social media value of getting to show people how awesome you are. There are models where you can use your knowledge to generate cash flow that pays for many of your land projects. So at Prosperity Homestead here, we have finished the final stage of some land work. We had a sewer line replaced. They finished some grading, put in a detention pond, and ultimately we're done with grading. I went out and put down seed and straw, lime and fertilizer, and we're going to have green grass back on the property. Now, if you've been following this project, you've seen videos that we did this once before when we replaced the retaining wall, and now I'm doing the final phase, which is the more backyard and sewer line, as well as the detention pond. And I did take video. Now, I'm outside working with the excavator, and I'm the general manager of the project, and I'm also the helper, picking up sticks, laying down pipes, buying materials from the store, and in general doing the logistics of the project. But I still managed to take probably 8 hours of video over a week, which will be chopped up and put into a documentary-style presentation about how to transform your older home into an ecologically sound oasis that's even at the estate level, because now that I don't have any trees, my house is like a beautiful house on the hill, and it's a really nice landscaping and garden space and a lot more utility out of the property. But there are times you have to put down the camera and actually do some work itself, because sometimes working on the land projects yourself gives you an opportunity to work with the talented professionals as well as your landscaping team or other folks that are getting work done. Like I was telling my son, if the guy jumps off this 25-ton excavator and has a question, I need to be standing there. And then also, it's partially my responsibility and the other spotter to make sure the excavator is operating functioning correctly, as well as not digging up something it shouldn't. But here's the model. The model is that I captured the video while it was happening. How many times can you get a 25-ton excavator in your backyard to dig a giant hole? Just once in a lifetime. And you see these people with videos about their little backyard garden and their beautiful estate or their beautiful little work area, and they talk about how to garden and their hobbies, and they're really enjoying themselves. They don't necessarily have the funds to do these types of projects, so it's kind of like that next level of not only entertainment but of interest. But the bigger key here is while you have the opportunity, capture the video. Now, we don't capture a lot of people in the video, and I save the video for specific podcasts and presentations, primarily oriented around training. But ultimately, the model is this. We're using information to educate people about the things that they'd want to do with their own home, and demonstrating through the projects I already have to do. So understand, a video I do about the deer jumping a fence and eating vegetables is kind of coping with that deer problem, but the actions I take to stop that from happening is useful information for other people. So there's a teaching element. There's also an information products element where I'm doing the work once, packaging it in such a way that it helps other people, and then making it available as training, as consulting work, or as like a DVD video or a tutorial. There are many things that you already do around your homestead, small farm, or estate that is interesting to other people. I have a friend who has a petting zoo. They really have llama, camels, everything. It's a nonprofit organization that provides sensory experiences for children, and they work with special needs kids. And ultimately, you can go there and see all kinds of animals here in a rural area where we'd otherwise have to drive 2 hours to a zoo. It's not actually a zoo, but it's a very interesting place where there's hands-on activities, summer camps, and such. See, they took their passion for animals and they monetized it by making it available as a service to people in the community. And they even go as far as promotional opportunities where a car dealership might have a camel out, for example. They might have a couple llamas out with packs on them, and they're using it as a compare and contrast, and they have stuff for the kids, and they have an opportunity for people to come out. The point I'm getting at is that there are many ways to cash flow your homestead, small farm, or estate, whether it's timber, it's market gardens, or it is even information products and videos. There's another person here in the region that has a winery. They bought a beautiful estate house. It had a vineyard on it, and they are now producing wine. And that's their passion. The key of it is that you need to promote that passion in order to monetize it as a business, because you do need to have a structure as a business. You also can, if it's a business and your home is a business, you can also cover some of the home repairs and maintenance as part of that business and use it to lower your tax liability. In the case of real estate, I used to bird dog for a number of real estate investors, and I am still in contact with real estate investors and sometimes lend them money as a private investor. But many real estate investors would buy old estate houses, fix them up, and then turn around and sell them and make millions of dollars on doing so. Or they would find raw land near golf courses or near other types of points of interest, good school districts or something like that. And they would get this piece of land and they would build a number of houses on it and live on the land for a little while they're getting these houses built, and then turn around and sell them as custom homes. There's all kinds of things you can do. In fact, we have a report called Making Money with Your Land, and it includes a homesteading style type of make money from your land, to even being a consultant, and your home becomes your office and you have a beautiful space to work out of. A good friend of ours runs a government contracting agency out of their pool house. So they have a beautiful pool, and they have a little bit of an oversized pool house. It's almost a mother-in-law suite, and that's actually his office. So half of it is the pool house with showers and everything they need for the pool, and they are running a business out of the other half. And then they have offices in 2 or 3 different cities. So when he's at home, and his wife is the president, and he's the business development manager, when they're at home, they just go out to their pool house and do the business. And then they fly out across the country to go to see additional employees. And ultimately, it makes part of their lifestyle a tax deduction. So Prosperity Homestead isn't just about prosperous as far as growth of vegetables and growth of your plants and your estate. It is the old style. Your home is your castle, and if you're going to invest all this time and money in a castle, you might as well make it pay for itself. And ultimately, prosperity comes in both your personal wealth, your emotional well-being, and your own luxury of lifestyle. Thomas Jefferson had nails made that were sold. George Washington, Biltmore Estate. Biltmore Estate was a meeting place and a place where the owner could reduce his travel because everybody could come to him. And he would allow favors and basically let people stay on his property. And they also sold timber as well. So I do have this report. If you're interested in it, visit us at www.prosperityhomestead.org. But my warning, it is so easy today to take a video and put it online and share what you're doing. And it actually feels really good to show people, hey, look, we solved this big problem at our property, and I want to show everybody what's going on. But here's some problems in the modern world, and why you want to, if you're interested in creating a passive income through information or through consulting or through a different use of your home or estate property, you've got to keep this into consideration, is your personal safety. I have seen too many times where somebody has done a video about the awesome things they're doing at their home, and somebody misinterpreted it and then came and stole their ride lawnmower, or came and stole a trailer, or came and vandalized the property, or otherwise reported them to the health department. Or reported them, there was a misunderstanding, and they reported them to the city ordinance. This person who reported them didn't even live in the same city, reports it to the city ordinance. there was a video of something being done. It was like it was in construction mode. Okay, there was no safety problems, but it was in construction mode, and somebody reported it. Next thing you know, they're getting fined for a garden in their front yard type of thing. Ultimately, there are right ways and wrong ways of doing this. Of course, I'm not giving you tax advice. You do want to talk to your CPA or tax attorney about the business use of your home. If you're going to open a bed and breakfast and a winery, have an orchard that would sell to the public, having a pick your own strawberries or timber on your property that you want to sell over time. All these different things have considerations. And I've worked with clients in the past to build out a business plan, a marketing plan, and then look at that design plan that was appropriate for their needs. Now, in my space, there's a lot of deer, so having a market garden has little or no value. I even had an idea that I talked about in the past of growing cut flowers that I had to nix because the damn deer keep eating everything. Even though the deer deterrent works well for a while, all it takes is a big storm and a bunch of deer. I think there's like 15 deer in the backyard. I've actually shifted to the point where I'm going to take up bow hunting because the deer need to jump in my freezer because they've eaten everything. But long story short, we do have programs on taking care of the deer. They haven't eaten everything. They've eaten some stuff when I hadn't been paying attention. But my larger point is, you can have the estate that you want. You can have that small farm you've dreamed about. You can build that homestead that your family comes back to generation after generation. But it takes a little more planning than cutting a video and throwing it on the internet and hoping you get some ad revenue. There are legitimate businesses that you can run out of your home, both historically and in the current environment. As we just saw with COVID, millions of people who normally went to an office have been working from home. And many of those people have been much more productive working at home than having to sit in traffic all day. Ultimately, people will forget about COVID until the next season it comes along, but working from home has huge value. Now imagine shifting your mindset so that you could also have passive income from your home. Again, orchards, vineyards, market vegetables, even if it's just for the social value of it, you can ultimately give yourself that prosperity that builds that lifestyle that you desire and have more stay-at-home vacations that are truly refreshing and beneficial. I think a lot of people have lost that homestead approach. My grandfather in Silver Spring, Maryland, had a wonderful orchard in his backyard. It was a postage stamp lot, and he had vegetables and compost and everything. The neighbor on one side had a swimming pool. The neighbor on the other side had a lawn, and he had an oasis in a city, near a city, that gave him both convenience and wonderful applesauce that my grandmother would make. Incredible applesauce. And the kids, whenever we were over there, we'd just go out and pick stuff off the trees. It was just great. Eating plums and pears and everything you can think of. And then he also had a beautiful rose garden, which was basically grafted and hybridized roses that he had been raising and cutting, and I didn't understand what exactly was going on, but it was beautiful. Little rose bushes, little rose on stems, like magic. The thing of it is that still happens today. People today are building in their own backyards oasis, beauty, stress-free life. But it does take some work. It's not just snapping a few videos and putting them online and hoping somebody notices you. That can actually work against you. It's not going in full bore in the permaculture lifestyle or going off grid. Or sometimes you got to start at the home you're at, right where you are today. And sometimes it is a lot of work. So I haven't done any videos or anything that I've published in the last week or so because I literally was working 12 to 15 hours a day doing my day job and doing the excavation work with the contractors and, spreading straw and spreading seeds, spreading fertilizer and lime. So I'm going to enjoy some relaxation. I got this week off for some training events, and I have this week off for just me and the kid went to the pool yesterday. We're going out to dinner tonight. You can have all of this and more when you understand the ethic and approach of Prosperity Homestead. It builds on permaculture, it builds on ecological land management and best land management practices, and it builds on a simple knowledge that starts right now. If you've been thinking about a garden, if you've been thinking about redoing the landscape, think about it in the terms of how do we work with nature? How do we work with nature to make this the oasis that we've always wanted? And it also supports beneficial insects, small birds, and other things that are regenerating to us as individuals. And put a little layer on that. How could we use this to generate additional income? Reduce our tax liabilities? How could we lower the cost of maintenance on our home by the design? How can we improve the quality of our storage spaces so that we can have our equipment last longer? And how can we reduce our overall costs and even create jobs and opportunities in our community? All this and more is what we share with you and talk about here at Prosperity Homestead. If you have questions about what you can do on your small farm, homestead, or estate, visit us at www.prosperityhomestead.org. I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon, and I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead.